Hello, Leonardo.
Hello, Albert. I am very happy to see you. Now I have a question for you.
Well, what is it, Leonardo?
Why don't we use wind, solar, and hydroelectric energy?
Well, let's start with wind power and how it is made. Wind is caused by air flowing from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. Windmills are used to make this energy. Windmills are pretty simple structures. Their blades are connected to a drive shaft that is connected to an electric generator. As the blades turn, this turns the drive shaft and creates electricity. Electricity is sent through wires and collected.
Well, what are the pros and cons of wind energy?
Well, the pros are wind-generated energy is renewable and non-polluting. Wind turbines do not produce radioactive waste as do most ways of generating electricity. When the wind blows, wind power is a possible and proven technology. Access to wind is free and wind energy is not derived by fossil fuel power. The initial cost of wind turbines is going down and will become increasingly affordable. All renewable energy resources offer the promise of new, green-collar jobs. Wind energy has some disadvantages. Energy can be generated only when the wind blows and backup power is expensive and must be replaced every few years. Wind turbines can also be damaged in thunderstorms. There is a noise factor that increases when winds are low. Also, birds fly into wind turbines.
Wow, that's amazing. Now can you tell me about solar energy?
I sure can, Leonardo. You'll start with how sunlight is produced. The sun, like most stars, is a main sequence star, and thus generates its energy by nuclear fusion of hydrogen nuclei to helium. In its core, the sun fuses 620 million metric tons of hydrogen each second, making sunlight. To generate solar energy, the photons radiated from the sun to Earth must be collected, converted into a usable format, and then delivered to an electronic device or the electric grid. Arrays of photovoltaic cells are normally used to collect the energy from the sun and convert it into electricity. An inverter is used to convert the electricity from the photovoltaic array into a format that can be used to power most devices and make sure the voltage level is consistent. Finally, the power can be supplied to the electrical grid or directly to a home, business, or other location for immediate use.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of this energy source?
Well, the advantages of solar energy are... Oh, I thought of a few. Well, the source of the sun is 100% free. Also, the production of solar energy does not release any pollution into the earth. The other good thing is most systems don't require any maintenance during their lifetime, which means you don't have to put money into them after they are bought.
Wow, this is too amazing. It just makes me want to dance.
But we still aren't opposed. Finished. Some of the disadvantages are solar energy systems for your entire home can run from a minimum of $15,000 to a more likely figure of $25,000 to $35,000. While this isn't cheap, state and federal governments have created significant ways to offset this cost. The federal government wants as many people to convert to solar as possible. The goal is to have 1 million solar roofs by the year 2010 to ease the stress on electrical grids across the nation. To promote this, the federal government offers the following incentives: up to a $2,000 tax credit in year of installation. Importantly, a tax credit is applied to the actual amount of tax you owe, not a deduction from your gross. If you prepare your taxes and find you owe $10,000, this tax credit will reduce the amount to $8,000. I almost forgot the federal government offers incentives in home loans. If you go solar, lenders will give you breaks under the Energy Efficient Mortgage or Energy Improvement Mortgage programs. The specific savings depend on the details of your home. State governments are also interested in promoting solar energy use. To promote solar, 35 states allow you to sell excess solar energy to utilities. Known as net metering, your solar system is tied into your utilities. During the day, the system feeds power into the grid and you can watch your meter run backwards. Net metering can effectively eliminate your utility bills for the life of the solar energy system. Think about that. No utility bills for 30 or 40 years.
That is a lot of disadvantages, so can you tell me about hydroelectric power?
I was just about to tell you, Leonardo. Well, first, water comes from the water cycle. Water cycle, also known as the hydrologic cycle, is the journey water takes as it circulates from the land to the sky and back again. The sun and oppose as heat provides energy to evaporate water from the earth and oppose as surface, oceans, lakes, etc. Plants also lose water to the air. This is called transpiration. The water vapor eventually condenses, forming tiny droplets in clouds. When the clouds meet cool air over land, precipitation, rain, sleet, or snow is triggered, and water returns to the land or sea. Some of the precipitation soaks into the ground. Some of the underground water is trapped between rock or clay layers. This is called groundwater. But most of the water flows downhill as runoff, above ground or underground, eventually returning to the seas as slightly salty water. Hydroelectricity is the term referring to electricity generated by hydropower, the production of electrical power through the use of the gravitational force of falling or flowing water. It is the most widely used form of renewable energy, accounting for 16% of global electricity consumption. The movement of water as it flows downstream creates kinetic energy that can be converted into electricity. A hydroelectric power plant converts this energy into electricity by forcing water, often held at a dam, through a hydraulic turbine that is connected to a generator. The generator then creates the energy and is sent to homes.
Tell me the advantages and disadvantages. This is so amazing.
Okay, Leonardo, I am excited to hear you were very interested. The advantages of hydroelectric power is works without the use of fuel like oil, uranium, etc., and this fact makes this energy an inexhaustible fuel source. As there is no intervention of any fuel, the electricity produced is very cost-effective, eco-friendly, and most importantly, inflation-resistant. Unlike other alternative renewable sources of electricity such as wind or sun, the hydroelectric energy can be used for generating a continuous supply of electricity. Thus, the amount of electricity produced by hydroelectric power is stable and can be controlled. As in, the power can be initiated and put on hold within a matter of moments. Finally, for the disadvantages of hydroelectric power, environmental turmoil is what is one of the major repercussions of generating hydroelectric energy. Aquatic ecosystem is one of the major realms which get immensely affected. The river environment is affected as the dam changes the upstream and downstream of the river. Several species of fish have to swim against the water stream during their breeding season, but they are not able to as the dam creates hindrances in their path. The plants which get destroyed due to floods caused by the dams decay in an anaerobic environment. This in turn results in the production of methane, a potent greenhouse gas. The damage caused by this process is considered more harmful than the forest which would have decayed naturally.
That was really cool, Albert. Thank you. I'm so excited. We should dance.
Okay. Let us dance.